Hi everybody, it's Andrew Mitchum here at the Forex Trading Coach, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Ben Clay from Blueberry Markets. Hello Ben.
G'day mate.
Nice to see you here. Ben, got some questions to run through from you. We asked a number of traders right around the world to ask questions to me that I can pass them on to you, basically to find out more about Blueberry Markets, what it is you do, why you're a good broker, and why you're my preferred broker. So if you're all good, I'll fire away with some questions, Ben.
Absolutely.
Cool. So the first question is, who are the people behind Blueberry?
Okay, good question. One I get asked relatively often. Dean Hyde is actually basically the owner of Blueberry Markets, who I've known for about 11 years.
Right.
We worked together at ASIC Trader,
Yes.
who you'd obviously know for some time. He just basically wanted to set up a broker that was where he thought there was a gap in the market, which was offering just really good hands-on customer service and transparency to all of their clients. So he sort of separated from Axie, a few years back and set out really on his own to come and set this up. And
Cool.
we're of course licensed through ACAP down in Melbourne, which is another firm who holds the AFSL. Obviously, ASIC, it's very difficult to get your own license when you're first starting out. So we're still under their license, but they're a very strong financially backed firm as well, and they've been amazing to us. So
Awesome.
Technically it's Dean who's behind it, and then ACAP who runs the license. Is basically it.
Perfect. And I think that's one of the nice things that I like about what you guys are. You're a very personal group. It's real people. It's not a call center. It's nice that you're dealing with real people all the time. So, and that's the feedback that I get from clients as well. It's always someone.
I'm really glad to hear that.
Like that.
Yeah. That's what we set out to do, is have the hands-on, real hands-on approach, and be extremely accessible and transparent. So that's what we set out to, and I think we've done pretty good at achieving that.
I think you've done very well. Absolutely. So another question, Ben. Your servers, where are they located?
So our main servers are based in Hong Kong. So that's where sort of the main service center is. And while that might sound a bit strange, it's actually, it's a pretty central location to a lot of our sort of key demographics.
Yes.
Having said that, though, we do have data centers all around the world. So in the main DCs like London, New York, Tokyo, Sydney as well. So the reason for that is when you connect it to the platform on MT4, anyone who's ever used it, down the bottom right-hand corner, there's the little connection status.
Yes.
You can actually click there and select the best data center that's giving you the best latency. So most of the time for me, even on Hong Kong here in Sydney, I'm still getting great latency because, we do put a lot of effort into our servers to make sure that they're as fast as possible. But if ever anyone is ever having issues with latency, just come to us and, we can sort out a VPS and, all those type of things that will bring that latency down.
Perfect, and that's good. And one thing I've always noticed on a personal point of view is that when the market opens at the beginning of the week, you're always there, all the pairs are open, whereas some other brokers, that doesn't happen for several minutes. I notice your spreads are consistent, those changeover times of the week as well, from one day to the next, and all that helps.
Yeah, that's a good point you raise. Obviously, when our markets open, it's 5 p.m. in New York. That's when our daily candle will start at 5 p.m. in New York. That way, it gives you the 5 daily candles through the week, as opposed to having any additional weekend candles. Through Tuesday to Friday, we'll actually typically stop pricing for about 2 minutes during that time. Some brokers are a lot longer than that, but we think 2 minutes is pretty optimal because spreads get so wide during that time.
Yes.
People can be unfairly stopped out just due to those wide spreads. So we really do try and do everything we can to alleviate that. Unfortunately, it is part and parcel of Forex trading.
That's right.
Obviously, it's the banks are rolling over, so prices, there's less buyers and sellers at those times, so the prices do widen out. But we try to mitigate that as much as possible, and it's better to have people not be able to trade during those times on such wide prices than have them be able to enter and exit during really wide spreads.
Opt out unnecessarily. Yeah.
Exactly right. Spot
Absolutely. Perfect. Question number 3. How did Blueberry work towards building their online reputation?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that again goes back to number one. Is it was Dean's vision, I guess, in terms of he worked at a broker for so long and constantly saw clients complaining about customer service and just not being treated fairly. So we wanted to set out and set up a broker that we would really want to trade with ourselves. All being traders, what would we want in a broker? And that came down to personal account managers. Every single client has their own account manager. You might speak to someone else in service every now and then, but at the end of the day, that person is your account manager and will always be that account manager. And we got our online reputation just by really trying to do the right thing by all of our clients. So we're not perfect. Sometimes things do go wrong with our system servers. Obviously this can happen. And what we really saw a big difference was how clients were treated when things did go wrong.
Yes.
As an example, what we were talking about before, widened spreads. Sometimes a client might come to me and say, "Hey Ben, I got stopped out. This spread got to 70 pips over market rollover," and I'll say, "Look, mate, while that is a valid price and that's that's the price we're getting from our liquidity providers, I don't think that's fair. I'm going to refund that trade." And it's just all about putting ourselves in the client's shoes and really saying, if I was the client, how would I want to be treated in that circumstance?
Nice.
And we just really fought for that to build our online reputation.
Perfect. And I think that's why we work well together, because that's my philosophy as well. It's a smaller, personalized business, but striving to be the absolute best and to realize what people want and to deliver that.
Yep, absolutely. And it's really important for us that as we grow, we don't lose that as well, because I have seen brokers definitely lose that as they get bigger and bigger. And we're really focusing on scalability and making sure that, the bigger we get, we're still giving that hand-holding experience and one-on-one customer service.
Perfect. So Ben, leading on to someone says, like, I want to come and trade with Blueberry. What type of accounts can someone open in terms of MetaTrader, or where you get accounts where you have like very tight spreads but commission, or that type of system? What offers have you got there? What choices do people have?
Sure. So in the simplest of terms, we have the standard and pro accounts. Standard accounts are just our regular spread. They have a markup imposed from us on top of what our liquidity providers put. That's how most brokers make their money from that markup. So on the euro, you're looking at starting off at about 1.1, 1.2 of a pip, and the majors will be similar to that. And that's just spread, no commission. That's what it'll always be. The minimum deposit size for that account is just $100. That's our bare minimum.
Wow.
Then we have the pro accounts, which is a $2,000 minimum. That has spreads that are reduced by one whole pip. So it's basically our raw spread, what we're getting from our liquidity providers with no markup whatsoever.
Okay.
And then there's a commission charge on top per lot.
Yes.
So for example, in Australian dollars, if you were to have a pro account, one lot would cost you $7 Aussie. And then you would have the raw spread on top of that. So it works out to be a bit cheaper across the board. And it all comes down to preference as well, whether people prefer spread versus commission. With us, you're not limited to one account. You can have a pro account, a standard account to test them out and see what works best for you.
Cool.
There can also be the potential for if someone is trading higher volume, we do have sort of VIP accounts where you can have a reduced spread on top of that as well, and some little extra added benefits. But that's more so for larger deposit sizes and whatnot, which we can get into at a later date.
Cool. And MT4 and MT5, the choice of both?
Yep, absolutely. MT4 and MT5. I personally, it all comes down to preference again. I personally still prefer MT4. It's just what I learned on, and I know you do as well.
I remember MT3.
Yeah, exactly. So MT5 does actually offer a lot more products. We do have some cryptos, platinum on there as well as the US dollar index. So if you are after a little bit of a wider product range, MT5 is definitely the way to go. But if it comes down to preference and you just want to be trading currencies and metals and indices, MT4 is the way to go.
Nice. And that's good. You still got the choice as well. And what about a demo? Can someone get a 30-day demo? And also, if they become a client and open a live account, could they go to unlimited? Is that possible? Unlimited demo?
Definitely, yeah. So the demo does typically last 30 days, will usually automatically expire after those 30 days. But if you have a live funded account, even if you're not placing trades on it yet, if you have a live funded account set up, just come to us and ask for a permanent demo. We'll get you one that never expires, so you can use that. Even still, I've been trading for 11 years. Every now and then I'll still go back to a demo account and have a look at a strategy. So it's handy to have that there.
I think that's a great bonus that you offer, really, because it's very nice for people, and that's why I like what you offer with the coaching side of things. Even if someone's been trading for years, I say, look, get on a demo if you're new to the way that I'm trading, and practice on a demo. Make sure you're consistently profitable on that and trade it properly. Don't treat it like monopoly money, and do that well, and then move on to real money. And I think
I couldn't have said it better myself. Treating the demo like it's a real account is very, very important.
That's right. No, perfect. Nice. So how do I withdraw funds? It's a question that you see on, around the internet. People go, I've made some money. I'm struggling to withdraw funds, or it's taking too long. What's your take on it?
Yeah. That's a question that I probably get asked every day, and it's a question that you should be asking your broker no matter where you are.
Yes.
One of the most bizarre questions I ever get asked is, can I withdraw my funds, or is there a maximum amount I can withdraw? Which I'm always perplexed at that, because well, for one, it scares me to know there's brokers out there that don't send funds back and that people actually have to ask those questions.
Yes.
But those funds are the client's funds at the end of the day, and can be withdrawn anytime they wish with any amounts. We have no need to hold on to clients' funds.
Right.
With us, you simply just go into the client portal and request the withdrawal from there. That typically is done back to the same method you funded with. So in the simplest of terms, if you funded $1,000 via credit card, we would first refund that $1,000 back to the credit card, and then any profits are sent to your bank account directly.
Nice.
And we don't charge anything for any withdrawals, bank deposits, credit cards, whatever. There's no fees. Sometimes the receiving bank will charge for a bank wire withdrawal, but if they're doing it's an issue, just come to us and we'll refund it.
Yeah, awesome. That's really good. And from a personal point of view, I find the same thing. Click on the button, it's there within a day. So, and that's overseas as well, so that's even better.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit faster just across the pond to you guys in New Zealand. I think it's usually 2 to 3 days.
The wind's blowing the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
And last question, Ben, regarding ASIC, and this kind of related to the last question, I suppose. Everybody's always, and rightly so, concerned about safety of funds, segregated accounts, those type of things. How are things set up with Blueberry so that we know as traders our funds are safe?
Absolutely. Again, another question that you should always be asking your broker. We're regulated by ASIC, of course, which has follows AML, and also which is anti-money laundering laws, and then follows Australian client money laws, which have become a lot more strict in the light of some unfortunate Forex brokers in the past that have given the industry a bad name. So basically what that means is that funds have to be held in segregated accounts that are kept separate from the company funds.
Okay.
So in other words, operating day-to-day client funds are separate from our operating business day-to-day funds.
Right.
So can't be used to cover staff wages, client losses, any of those things. It's there to cover margin for the clients in a segregated fund. So if anything is to happen to Blueberry, so to speak, then those the client funds are kept separate from our company funds and can't be touched.
Awesome. That's good to know. And so lastly, Ben, if someone says, look, I like what I hear, I'm recommending Blueberry as well. How does someone get in touch with you? What's the next step so they can trade through Blueberry?
Absolutely. In all honesty, the easiest way is just to jump on our website at blueberrymarkets.com. Simple links there, open a live accounts. My email address is just ben.clay@blueberrymarkets.com. If you ever need to reach out to me, I'm always on my email. I work 18 hours a day most of the time.
You do, because whenever I write, you're always there.
I try to. But yeah, jump onto the website. We've got live chat there. There's contact us buttons, or you can simply apply for a demo or a live account directly from the website.
Awesome. So people know what to do. Make it very easy. And from my point of view, I know we joke about it, but look, honestly, whenever I ask questions to you or to Dean or anybody else, there's always an instant reply, and it's always from the person I'm writing to. So, it works. We appreciate it, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much, mate. I think you're doing a phenomenal job over there. I get so much positive feedback from your clients. So
good.
keep up the good work as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Catch up next time.
Thank you, Andrew. Take care, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.